Hello, hello, everyone. Welcome back to English Over Tea. Listen and speak. I'm your host, Anna.
And I'm Dan. Grab a mug, put the kettle on, and, well, let's get into it.
Exactly. Let me just pour this. Perfect. Earl Grey today, Dan?
You know it. So, Anna, before we dive into today's topic, I have to tell you about what happened to me yesterday.
Oh boy. Whenever you start a sentence like that, I know it's going to be good. What happened?
So, I was at this new coffee shop downtown, right? And I was trying to order, a simple black coffee. But the barista, he had this incredibly thick Scottish accent.
Oh, wow. I love a Scottish accent, but it can be tough.
Tough is an understatement. He asked me something, and honestly, all I heard was a string of vowels. I just kind of panicked, nodded enthusiastically, and said, "Yeah, sounds great, mate."
Oh no, Dan. What did you agree to?
Well, he handed me a massive, bright pink dragon fruit smoothie with, I think there were chia seeds on top and a tiny umbrella.
Wait, you wanted a black coffee and you got a pink smoothie with an umbrella?
Yes, and I was too embarrassed to say anything, so I just drank it. It was terrible. I completely drew a blank when he spoke to me.
Oh, let's stop right there for a second for our listeners. Drew a blank. That's a great multi-word phrase.
It is. To draw a blank means to fail to get an answer or to remember something, like your mind just goes completely empty.
Exactly. And its usage is usually for memory or comprehension. Like, I tried to remember her name, but I drew a blank. Or in Dan's case, I tried to understand the barista, but my brain just drew a blank.
Yep, completely empty, which actually, kind of leads us perfectly into today's topic.
It really does, because today we are talking about listening, specifically a question we got from a listener about how to practice effectively.
Right, we get this kind of question a lot.
We really do. So here's the message we got. The listener said, "When I practice listening, I focus a lot and do a lot of repetitions."
Which, is super common.
Definitely. But then they said, after a while, I realized that I was actually memorizing the audio recording instead of practicing listening.
Ah, yeah, I've been there. You listen to the same podcast clip so many times you could probably recite it in your sleep. But if someone says the exact same words in a real conversation, you still draw a blank.
Exactly. So their big question for us today is, how do you think I should do an ideal listening exercise?
It's a fantastic question. The search for the perfect method.
Yeah. Well, let's break it down and look at the answer. First off, the hard truth is that there is not one ideal listening exercise.
Right. If there was a magic button, we'd all press it. But instead, there are several good ways to improve your listening.
Exactly. And I don't want to completely knock what our listener is already doing. Like, the repetitions you are doing can be necessary and helpful for you to understand what you hear.
For sure. I mean, repetitions likely help you remember new words and how to pronounce them. It's not a waste of time at all. It builds that muscle memory for your mouth and your ears.
It really does. But if you are just memorizing the exact timing of when the speaker takes a breath, you aren't really reacting to language anymore, right?
Exactly. You're just memorizing a song, basically.
So we need to mix it up. But let's look at more ways you can practice listening. We have a whole list of listening methods to get through today.
Let's do it. What's the first one, Anna?
Okay, so the first method, this is crucial. First, try to find listening material that is just a bit above your ability.
A bit above. That's the key phrase there. Not so hard that you're crying into your notebook, but not so easy that you're bored out of your mind.
Exactly. Why is that important? Because this will help you learn new words without making it too difficult for you.
Yeah, if it's too hard, you tune out. Oh, tune out. Another great multi-word phrase, Dan.
Look at me go today.
So, to tune out means to stop paying attention to something or someone, often because you're bored or overwhelmed.
Usage-wise, you might say, the lecture was so complicated that I completely tuned out after 5 minutes. Or, when people start arguing, I just tune out.
Exactly, and you will definitely tune out if an English podcast is way too advanced. You'll just hear background noise. So pick something just one step up from your current level.
Right. And another big tip for finding good material, it is best to listen to English material that has words written either in captions or in the body text.
Like transcripts, we always provide transcripts for this podcast for exactly this reason.
Yes, having the text there, this will help check your listening because sometimes you think you hear one thing, but it's actually completely different.
Oh, for sure, like my barista with the pink smoothie. If he had captions floating under his chin, my life would have been much easier.
Life needs real-time subtitles.
It really does. So, how do we use these transcripts or captions? You don't just want to read along the whole time, right?
No, because then it becomes a reading exercise, not a listening one. The trick is you can test yourself by first listening to parts of the audio without reading the words.
Right, just close your eyes or hide your phone screen and just listen.
And while you're listening that first time, don't worry about every single tiny word. Just note the main ideas and the things you clearly understood. Get the big picture first.
Okay, so if we follow that first step, we've got the big picture. We listened once, maybe twice without peeking at the transcript. We know what the speakers are generally chatting about. What's next? Because honestly, Anna, if I stop there, my brain is just like, job done, let's go get another pink smoothie.
No, no more pink smoothies and no stopping yet because the real work happens right after that. So you've got the main idea down. Then listen to it again and try to understand more details.
Okay, getting into the nitty gritty, the specifics.
Exactly. And this is the perfect time for our listeners' favorite method. This is when you can do shorter repetitions. Pause, rewind 10 seconds, listen again. See if you can catch that one word that sounded a bit blurry.
That makes sense. It's like trying to figure out a magic trick. You have to watch the same part over and over to see where the coin went. But with audio, how do you finally know if you've figured out the trick? Like, how do you verify it?
That's where the transcript comes back in. Next, you can check how much you understood by reading the words as you listen to the audio again.
Ah, the reveal. I love that moment. Although it can be embarrassing sometimes when you realize how wrong you were.
Oh, absolutely.
Seriously, have I ever told you about the time I spent an entire year thinking the lyrics to that Taylor Swift song? You know, the one. I thought she was singing about Starbucks lovers.
Got a long list of Starbucks lovers? Yes. I think half the world thought that's what she was saying.
I was so confused. I was like, why does she care where they get their coffee? But then I finally looked up the lyrics while listening, and she's actually saying, got a long list of ex lovers. It blew my mind.
See, that is exactly why checking the text is so crucial. Otherwise, you walk around singing about coffee shops forever. But let's move on to the next major method, which is highly related to this. It's called transcribing.
Transcribing. That sounds very official, like something a court reporter does.
It is a bit of work, but honestly, one of the best ways to practice listening is by writing every word you hear. This is called transcribing.
Wait, every single word? Like the ums and ahs?
Well, you can skip the ums, but the actual words, yes. You just jot down exactly what you hear.
Oh, let's pause right there. Jot down. That's a really handy multi-word phrase for our listeners.
Good catch, Dan. Yes. To jot down means to write something quickly on a piece of paper so that you remember it.
Right. As for usage, you could say, let me jot down your phone number before I forget it. Or in our case, listen to the audio and jot down every word the speaker says.
Perfect explanation. Now, I know what you're thinking, Dan. You're thinking transcribing a whole 30-minute podcast would take forever.
Yeah, my hand is cramping just thinking about it.
But here's the secret. You don't need to do a whole podcast. Even with audio examples as short as 1 minute, you can learn a lot of English using this method.
1 minute? Okay, I can handle 1 minute. Even my attention span is that long.
I believe in you, and it's incredibly effective. For example, if you are transcribing an interview, you might notice differences between spoken English and written English.
Oh, that is such a huge point. People do not speak the way textbooks are written.
Not at all. When we speak, we contract, we drop sounds, we use slang. By transcribing, you can notice and learn new expressions, grammar rules, and spelling. You really start to see the mechanics of how native speakers actually put sentences together in real time.
It's like slowing down the game so you can see how the players are moving. You notice things you'd normally just breeze right past.
Exactly. And there's a massive memory benefit to doing this too. This method also helps make new words stay in your memory when you read them.
Really? Why does it stick better than just, reading a vocabulary list?
Because of the effort you put in. That is because you are discovering the answer to a problem you have already tried to solve through listening.
Ah, I see. It's like your brain is frustrated trying to figure out the word. It's a puzzle. And then when you finally write it down and see the answer, your brain says, aha, I'm keeping this.
Exactly. It's the aha moment. It creates a much stronger neural connection than just passively staring at a piece of paper. You fought for that word, so you're going to remember it.
I love that idea of fighting for the word, Anna. It makes the whole process feel like a bit of a game rather than just, a chore.
Exactly. And once you've done the hard work of transcribing, there are a few other tips to really round out your skills.
Round out. We are on fire with the phrases today.
We really are. To round out means to complete something or make it more balanced by adding a final necessary part. For usage, you could say, He took a cooking class to round out his skills in the kitchen. Or, these last few tips will round out your listening practice.
Perfect. So, what's the first tip for rounding things out?
Well, you should try listening to English spoken at different speeds. In the beginning, slow is fine, but over time, you can follow spoken English at a faster speed.
That's actually really easy to do now, isn't it? Most podcast apps and many videos online let you increase or decrease the speed of playback. I sometimes listen to my favorite shows at 1.5x speed just to save time. But for learners, going down to 0.75x can be a lifesaver.
It really can. It gives your brain that extra millisecond to process the sounds. And speaking of different sounds, you should also practice listening to English spoken in different foreign accents.
Oh, like my Scottish barista friend.
Exactly. This is a useful skill because English is spoken in so many places around the world. If you only ever listen to one specific British or American accent, you're going to be very confused when you travel or work in an international environment.
That is so true. It's a big, loud, accented world out there.
It really is. Now, another high-level strategy is to center your listening on specific sounds or grammatical points. For example, preposition use in English can be notoriously difficult.
Oh, don't even get me started on in, on, and at. They're tiny, but they're deadly.
They are. So instead of trying to understand everything, try listening specifically for prepositions and the words they connect with. Focusing your ears like a laser on one specific thing can help you use them correctly in your own speaking and writing later on.
It's like selective hearing, but in a productive way for once.
Exactly. And honestly, the biggest thing to keep in mind is that, like any skill, you can improve listening by practicing often and having detailed plans for the methods you will use.
Consistency is the secret sauce. Well, I'm definitely feeling inspired to go back and actually listen to what people are saying and maybe avoid any more accidental pink smoothies.
Probably a good idea, Dan. So, to recap for everyone at home, find material just above your level, use transcripts to check your work, try transcribing short clips, and don't be afraid to play with speed and different accents.
Great advice as always, Anna.
Thanks, Dan, and thank you all for joining us today on English Over Tea, Listen and Speak. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe to the channel and leave us a comment about which method you're going to try first.
We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and enjoy your tea.
Bye, everyone.